It's been very, very eerie on campus. I've gone only a few times because I have purely virtual classes this semester.
Without question, this has to have been one of the hardest years in the entire nearly 170-year history of this university, especially and most importantly for our students.
It's not a universal phenomena that the isolation is harmful, but for some students, it's incredibly harmful, even toxic in some ways.
Having to finish my degree online, it's obviously not the way that I planned it to be.
Online is, very much both and. There's some really nice things about it and really challenging things about it.
Every mode of instruction or style of teaching is going to favor certain learning styles over another.
Anytime that I'm taking an exam, any sound or movement, is that going to be picked up as I'm cheating on this exam?
Zoom fatigue is absolutely a real phenomena, and of course it impacts some people more than others.
I've heard complaints about migraines.
And kind of sensing a relationship with your professor is hard over video. They feel like just a box on a screen that you've never met.
It feels like you're doing this all by yourself.
Is everybody else struggling with this, or is it just me alone in my room?
There's not much of a barrier anymore between coming to class and their daily life.
There's some very clear examples, medically, scientifically, where the blurring of these boundaries impacts health.
Submitting a test that you didn't feel very confident about, and then, you walk from your desk over to your bed, 2 steps away, and you kind of just stare at the ceiling.
Some of my professors had never used online platforms before, and so it was a rough transition.
I think that this is all a reminder that nothing is certain, nothing is promised.
I know a lot of other fellow seniors didn't know in the fall when applying to grad school, medical school, things like that, what the world would look like in a year.
These are the leaders of the next generation, and I think that this opportunity is going to teach them how to lead in a different way.
Stakes are high, and we don't want impact to mental health to be an outcome of our strategy to combat the virus in our community.
The world was turned upside down, and they had to cope with it, and we did our very best to support them, to communicate with them, to be transparent, but we couldn't change what was going on in the world around them, and they had to work their way through it, but they certainly did.